Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news. It was meant to last forever. For Sophie Sierra, love started as a whisper across oceans, a gentle, flickering glow amid the digital wilderness of dating apps and Instagram DMs. She was a London girl who grew up on fairy tales and tragedy and wanted something real, something that wasn't planned. Then Warne showed in. He was from California and had abs that looked like polished marble. His story was as flawless as his smile. Sophie believed in the promise of his words. She flew around the world to chase a dream that came with a visa. But what she encountered in Los Angeles wasn't a dream. It was the carefully built illusion of one. Rob made her feel like the most important girl in the world at first. The camera really liked them. The fans did too. They were the couple with an edge on 90 Day Fiancé. Mismatched but magnetic. Rob is a wonderful content provider with a past that isn't clear. Sophie is a fancy British woman attempting to make sense of the crazy things going on in America. But their existence was far different from the cuts and viral confessions. There were fighting. Sophie sobbed in toilets that were too tiny for both of them for long periods of time. There were unanswered text messages, social media posts that didn't make sense, and secrets that Rob couldn't get rid of. Sophie stayed nevertheless. It's not easy to leave when you're thousands of miles from home and cameras are watching. When love is laced with shame and disappointment wears the mask of optimism, it can be hard. They tied the knot. In a quiet way. Not on camera. And for a while, Sophie thought that being quiet may help them. But nothing could have prepared her for what would happen next. The unraveling, the lies, and the betrayal so deep that she would have to reconstruct not only her life but also her identity. It all started with one message. A bank email. Sophie didn't know who it was, but they congratulated her on opening a business account. She blinked, not sure what to think. She hadn't set up any accounts. Rob laughed when she asked him. "That must be a mistake," he remarked. "I probably used your email to set something up. Don't worry about it." But Sophie was worried. It wasn't simply an email, though. It was a pattern. Credit checks she hadn't asked for. Packages coming to her with names she didn't use. Her stomach shouted, but her heart told her to make excuses. She wanted to think that the man she married couldn't do this. That the differences were just that, differences. Growing pains that will go away in a young marriage. But the proof kept coming in. She didn't give permission for bank transfers. A car lease in her name. And a lot of messages on social media from women she didn't know. Women who had sent Rob money for business advice, digital marketing campaigns, and crypto investments, and never heard from him again. Some others felt Sophie was in on the fraud with him. She was cautioned by others. One DM said, "Check your credit. I think he's using you." Yes, she did. And what she found was very scary. 3 credit cards that she never used. More than $15,000 in debt. A trail of digital fingerprints that all led back to Rob. Sophie didn't sleep that night. She looked up at the ceiling of their one-bedroom apartment in North Hollywood and realized she didn't know the man next to her. She didn't know when he went from being a hustler to a fraudster, only that he had and that he had taken her with him. It wasn't a big deal to leave. It was numb. Sophie didn't pack a suitcase while she cried to love songs. She didn't yell or throw anything. Instead, she quietly gathered her papers, printed all she had, and left one morning when Rob was in the shower. She called for a ride. She stayed at a hotel. Then she phoned a lawyer. 3 days later, they were in court. No buddies. No fans. Just few papers. The divorce was approved without any problems. Rob didn't fight back. Didn't shed a tear. Not even asking why. He merely watched her sign and then walked away, still holding his phone like it was a shield. Sophie was not done yet. Not yet. The folder she gave to the detectives was big. It had screenshots of talks between Rob and the people he was supposed to have hurt. Statements from the bank. Contracts for leases. Papers for taxes. IP addresses that connected Rob's laptop to bogus business sites. She had it all. She cried once she was done talking to the cops. Not because she was mad, but a part of her still loved him, which made the betrayal feel like poison in her lungs. The LAPD was serious about the matter. They had to. Sophie wasn't the only one who got hurt. More people came forward. Every day the number rose. 16. Then 23. Then there were 31. Some people lost hundreds. Some people lost hundreds. It is said that one woman sold her wedding ring to put money into Rob's false Bitcoin consulting business. There were many levels to the fraud, such as false digital shell firms, domain names that disappeared, and bots that made fake reviews of clients. It was smart, but also careless. But the move that made it famous? Using Sophie's name to gain credibility. Rob is said to have informed one victim, "She's my partner. She takes care of the back end." But she didn't. She never even knew it was there. 7:12 a.m. on May 25, 2025. Police knocked on Rob Warne's door and showed him a warrant. He answered sleepily, wearing a hoodie and no shoes. He didn't fight when he saw the uniforms. He didn't even inquire why. He just said seriously, when they read him his rights. The street was full of flashing lights. People next door looked through the blinds. One person filmed the arrest on their phone, and the video quickly went viral. Rob was charged with wire fraud, identity theft, and impersonating someone else in a crime. They didn't let him out on bail. Police took 3 laptops, 2 external hard drives, and 6 burner phones from his flat. Each phone was registered under a fake name. One was in Sophie's name. At first, Sophie didn't do interviews. She got rid of Instagram, went silent on Twitter. She needed some time, space, air, but she did come back eventually. Not for fame, not for power, but for the truth. She whispered to reporters, and her voice was steady but husky. "I didn't know," she said. "I wish I had. I wish I had followed my gut feeling sooner." She couldn't stop feeling guilty, not for what Rob did, but for how long she struggled to keep him safe. "I thought I could fix it, make him better. I believed love would be enough. It wasn't." Sophie is now in treatment, working to fix her credit, and trying to teach other people about financial abuse, which is a type of control that is sometimes hidden but very harmful. "It's not always physical," she said at a recent panel. "Sometimes the scars are on your name, your bank account, and your ability to trust." Rob Warne is currently in jail in downtown Los Angeles, waiting for his trial. He says he is innocent. He says it's all a misunderstanding in letters to pals and a phone call from jail that got out to the press. She's angry. She is not telling the truth. "I never cheated anyone, but the proof is stronger." Prosecutors said they have a digital trail that shows 3 years of lies. They call it a spiderweb of fraud, and it grew slowly, fueled by charm and technology. And what's in the middle of that web? Rob Warne, the person who has an effect, the man who is married, the person being accused. This September, his trial will start. He may spend up to 20 years in federal prison if he is found guilty. This story wasn't asked for by Sophie Sierra. She came to the United States for love. She received betrayal. But she found something deeper than pain in that betrayal, clarity. Now she walks in a different way, talks in a different way. She has the quiet strength of someone who has been through a lot. And when someone asks her if she regrets the show, the move, or the marriage, she stops for a long time. She says, "No, because I learned who he was. And most importantly, I learned who I am." Her voice, which was once a whisper, is now the last word in a story that began with a promise and finished with handcuffs. In the world of 90 Day Fiancé, it's easy to mix up love and lies. But what's the truth? The truth always comes out in the end. This gossip is over. If you liked the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.